Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast, or a brand new episode this week where we'll be talking the Old Firm game that just happened yesterday. Ended in a draw, probably unlucky for us actually not to see out and get the 3 points, but we'll talk about which was a good second half performance to obviously get us in the position that we were in, but then a couple of lapses of concentration let Celtic in to get an equaliser, and three big points for us that we could have got, and we've dropped two of them. So we'll talk about the game, talk about the team, the subs, which I know both of us are kind of shocked that actually happened, but and then we'll talk about obviously just the game in general, what we saw from Celtic as well. But as always, if you could like, subscribe and share for us, always appreciated. And as we move in to talk about the game now. I just a photo from the game, Morelos over at Greg Taylor when he was injured, but it was a bit of a weird one, this Old Firm game. I kind of put it down similarly to the semi-final last season, the Scottish Cup, where I don't think anybody, even Rangers fans, really gave us a chance to go and win this game, or even performing well in it. And again, we kind of turned the odds in our favour, and we put on a strong performance to get into the position we were. But then, as I say, just kind of lapse of concentration at the end, two each, kind of punch in the gut, because that would have been a great catalyst for us to again go and move forward. Michael Beale's first game as obviously official manager of Rangers, if he had to go and beat Celtic, would have been a big statement. So unfortunate for him, obviously not to see it out, but I think some of his wrongdoings actually. Starting off with the starting lineup, I just don't think in the first half this worked at all. I think Celtic were just passing it through us. We were able to sort of let Celtic play their own game. They had acres of space, and then what I particularly noticed down the side where I sit is Ryan Kent obviously moved into the middle. It just left this side with Barisic just totally exposed, 2-on-1 with Celtic men every time, and then I felt in the middle as well with just two midfielders. They had so much room, so much space, and it could have been probably more if Celtic were more clinical. But I ultimately they go 1-0 up. Dyson Maida. Watching it back actually a few times at the game when I was there, I'm like, that is a fucking awful goal to lose. But I mean, Morelos, Lundstrom, all involved. Tavernier, I don't know what Tavernier's even attempting. How is he let him just slip by? And then McGregor, obviously with the finish, probably should have done a lot better. But you just don't want to let Celtic score early, which is what we did. And fortunately for us, like usually when they score, they kind of pile on the pressure. For me, I didn't really see the same performance we Celtic. They kind of started to shut up shop a wee bit.
Listen, for me personally, this game was frustrating. It's a sore one. Not really a sore one, but I just feel we should have won it. I really did. Just the way we were performing second half, I thought we should have won the game. On the first goal that we conceded, mate, it's last ditch, mate. You've got to just take the guy out if you're Tavernier. Take the guard. You've got to. If I'm Tavernier, I'm pulling him by the collar, pull him to the floor, do something. Shocking for Morelos. I don't know what Morelos is doing. And Lundstrom as well, beforehand. He's got three of them in front of him, and he goes to play the ball. I think it's to Kent or Barisic.
Mm-hmm.
No, was it Tillman? I think was in space. Someone was in space. And I'm just thinking, just play the ball there. But it was a real shocking goal to concede for me. Especially Tav. Come on, be the captain. Show us. I mean, pull the ball to the flare. Do something.
It was just a calamity errors for the get goal. I mean, Lundstrom failing to move on the ball as well.
You know the pass Morelos was looking to do. He does it most games, looking to switch the play, looking for the big pass. It does all the time, but to do it there,
you just can't
do that. You can't do that. No in games like this. Sorry against Motherwell, but no, the arrogance to try and do a no looker like that for me. Nah, you're all right there. Starting thing me as well, mate. I was Lundstrom. I would have played Jack over Lundstrom to start with. That's just me personally. I thought Lundstrom was all right second half. First half, I don't think it was MD for us. It was really decent apart from Sakala all game. Sakala was the only man up for it. Was it right at it? And as I said, going into this game, and the manager confirmed that after the game, these boys are all playing for the future. Do you know what I mean? As Michael Beale said, he's right half of them really, does he? To be fair. After the game, I felt myself just saying, give Ryan Kent a new contract. Morelos, he's got to go this window. He's got to go this window. I adore him. We all adore him. but it's time. The squad needs freshened up. I found myself just saying to myself, I'd keep Goldson and Kent. The rest of them, I'm no bothered if they stay.
Mm-hmm. Nah, that's kind of where you're in the position now. I remember saying to you as well when we were at the last home game, which was, I can't even remember off the top of my head, Motherwell. When we were at that game, I'm saying to you, like, if we don't win the Old Firm game and get 3 points for it, obviously title race is on, then we can go and really go for it. But if we drop any points, it really is, as Michael Beale said, these players fighting for the future at the club if they want it. And going through the team, actually, McGregor is useless.
Can I
He's just absolutely useless. I seen a stat. I think it's out of
18
18 shots
shots,
on target,
11,
we've conceded 11 goals or something.
shocking,
Just there's
shocking.
just no confidence for your goalkeeper, like to do anything. I'm not saying he should have done. He should have saved the first goal, but it was at a decent
Maybe
height for
should
him
have
to
been one
make
bigger.
the. It was just a. You just don't back your goalkeeper, McGregor. McGregor was. I'm done with him. It's clearly just showing you every game you see him now that it was time to get a new
Fantastic.
goalkeeper in.
Listen, for me, it was selfishness for him to stay on. Person, just for me, I just honestly like you look what everyone fought at the Scottish Cup game. You thought, right, that's it for McGregor. Go out with a trophy, fantastic servant, a legend of the club. And then to stay on, and you know what I mean. It's just shocking, and as I say, it's shocking for the board. No be able to bring in Ross Wilson. Sorry, no be able to bring in another goalkeeper as well. But I know how critical I've been of Barisic, but this season, Tavernier. Oh my God, man! I honestly do you know what his problem is? He's too comfy. He's no good competition on that for that space. I know Devine's been playing well, but I'd be signing another right back to give him competition. I think he's just gone stale.
Mhm.
No competition whatsoever.
I think for me as well, just looking at his build, I think
Doesn't look healthy.
he must be carrying an injury, and I'm fine. Like play through it. Thank you for playing through it because,
Obviously,
but like it's your body. You need to watch what you're doing. Like if this kid, if he's got an injury and he's carrying an injury, like for in seasons to come, he's maybe going to fucking force himself to retire early with this. Like obviously none of us know the situation, but to me he just doesn't look fit. It could be a hernia or something that he's got a problem with. But I
I think
just
he hasn't been good enough at all, mate. Regardless of
he's
that,
been
he's
awful
not
this
been good
season.
enough at all. I think he's been diabolical this season. Um, aye, and maybe if he is
That was
carrying it
the
on,
that was the most debate I actually seen about Tavernier yesterday on Twitter. Just a lot of people sort of kind of lowering their mask, if you say, and speaking how they feel on him now. Which you should be
don't
able
get
to
me
do
wrong,
about
a
every
great
single
penalty,
player. Aye,
great
great
penalty,
player. Aye, the penalty
great,
was fucking insane. Like
fantastic
no
penalty.
keeper saving that.
No, it's great penalty, but just for me, man, the level that he set himself at and the standard that we hold him to, I think he's dropped. And as you say, maybe that's an injury or what have you, but I just don't think he's been at the races at all this season. And as you say, maybe if he's carrying an injury or not, maybe he needs to just step out and give somebody else a shot. But then obviously, who have you got? I would honestly, I think a young man like Devine's proved himself to be
He
decent
could
enough
step
to do
in
it
in
and
harsh
do the job.
situations and he can help out. Like,
Absolutely.
if he's an option there and he's a young guy, obviously, and you want him to be a part of his future, play him. Tavernier's clearly not been at it. He scored the penalty, obviously, to get us a second goal. But apart from that, I thought he was largely really poor. And then for the Celtic equaliser as well, Jota just glides by him. We know no even any effort at all. And then that's how the second goal happens. And I didn't like him as well. He kind of invited Jota in to then make the pass, and he's the one screaming at everybody after it. Oh, obviously, captain losing a goal, aye, but it was
The
partially
year
his
it's all
fault as
going
well.
together. It was the
Um,
same the other night with Lundstrom and all.
mm,
And the Motherwell kid, I'm like, mate, you're the one with the error there. What you on about? What you screaming at everybody else for?
aye, I thought Tavernier was poor, but again, goal's a goal. Goldson, Golson's rock. So I think that's a
Oh,
really good partnership coming on
I
now.
like that
We
partnership.
were kind of concerned about Davies, but I think Davies had one of his probably his best game for
Mm.
us. We said before we would need all the players to have their best games, but I thought Davies looked really comfortable, composed, fought in the battles. Obviously, he had Kyogo, Maida, James Forrest, Abada, Jota, Giacomakis, to name all of their players that they had on the pitch at the time, and dealt with them all pretty well. Obviously,
The
bar the
goal.
one at the end for the equaliser. But I think Davies will be more game time. and that partnership's building up to be something nice. And Goldson, can't fault. I thought he had a good game. There was also a penalty shout, which, looking at it again, I'm like, wow, that's the first time seeing it this morning. Sort of handball. Apparently, due to the rules, it wasn't. But I'm looking at it. I'm like, maybe we did get a baby one there, because there was a couple of VAR checks, and that's the only one I've seen. So, I bit fortunate in that one. Barisic at left back, I thought, again, he was all right, but
It's all right. My only problem with Barisic was, yo, bro, the balls you were playing in Motherwell was fantastic. Do you know what I mean? The balls you were playing in this game, I don't know if it maybe, don't know what it is, maybe a bit of nerves about it, I don't know, but they were a bit
the
overshot.
one bit of nerves I can remember him was in the first half, and I think he was ready to pass it. He was like Kamara or Kent or whoever's on the left hand side, and he hits
Mm.
the weakest pass I think I've ever seen in my life, and he just gives the ball away, and that was just kind of
Speaking of the
what was
passing,
happening.
see for professional footballers in this game, passing was shocking,
It was.
absolutely diabolical.
Yeah, it was actually poor, and Beale touched on that. After the game, I think we turned over possession far too much,
Uh,
especially a team like Celtic. We obviously gift them the first goal, and then our own error orchestrates the goal for them again. It's just annoying because of how the goals happened. They only had 2 shots on target the full game, and they scored for them. But then that's what I kept saying to everybody. That's what Celtic do. That's why
I
they
think
won the league last year. That's why they're 9 points clear, because they can stay in games, and they've got players like Carter Vickers at the back. What a defensive block that was for Tillman, by the way. He put his body on the line for that, and that could have been it. Tillman in front of goal, going for 3-1, but Vickers obviously blocked it off. And then I cut Kamara. Kamara, I thought was all right in the second half. I thought he looked more composed. I think the first half in general, maybe the first
all over the place.
35 minutes, I don't think we were right. The whole team was all
I
over the
think that was
place.
the whole
So
team, exactly. I think that was the whole team. As I said, second half we obviously came alive.
Lundstram, as you say as well, had a really good second half before he went
Second
off
half really
injured.
good as well.
But that's what you kind of want for Lundstram. I just feel as soon as that second goal went in, and as soon as we actually got a bit of momentum, we were the only team in the ascendancy, and we just killed it by staying back. Like, I don't
By
know
our own
why.
mistake.
Like, my dad said this as well. Like, see when we played Celtic at Celtic Park, right? We were 3-0 down at half time, but they went 2-0 up within like 20 minutes, right? They could have just sat back. No, they wanted to hammer us, so they kept on going,
Yeah.
and that was it. Like, I just don't. How do we go 2-1 up and sit back?
Yeah.
Half an hour of a game left to go. It just felt like that Celtic equaliser was coming, and that's maybe the more unfortunate thing of the
That's
performance.
why they're going on course to win the league again, mate. It's because they keep going, even when they put the lead. 2-0, we all know in football that's the scary to be in front of me. You know what I mean? Because anything can happen with that. But for me, I thought, go at them. They're there. I didn't think that was for the full game. I didn't think Celtic were really anything special. I didn't think they were in to
No, I
fear.
don't. I don't think they had a
I don't
great
think they
game
were
at
at their
all.
best. You know what I mean? I've seen when we've played them in the past, as you say, Celtic Park, and that they've been at their best. I just think they were at their best at all. I don't know what it was up with them, but I thought we were just there for the taking, and we couldn't capitalise on it. And obviously through our own errors, it
Aye,
happened.
we just showed them too much respect throughout the game, but then when we obviously piled on the pressure and we had to go for it, we just had an onslaught on them, and it was just like, why is that not there the full second half? Because we had to win this
Yeah,
game,
for
but
the full game, for the first whistle, that's what I was on about. That's what I could not believe that. With that first half, I thought to myself, how are these lads not up for this? How did they not understand that what's at stake here? Do you know what I mean? Because I
yeah,
say they're playing for their future and a chance to close the gap on points down as well. But somebody that did, mate, I'm loving the heel turn. I've got to say, I'm loving the NWO fashion Sakala. This guy, I'm like, see when he was like that on the floor because he get the penalty and then he said on the leg.
aye.
I thought, yes.
Oh, he absolutely fucking ripped Juranovic apart, and you got to remember that guy was playing at the top level of football. Just a couple of weeks ago with Croatia, obviously playing out of position, but he absolutely roasted him for as long as he was on the pitch. And Sakala in the first half as well is the one you can really hold your hat up to and say, look, he was closing people down. He was making things happen. Obviously, Tavernier on his right hand side wasn't too much of a help, because it was just high balls into him all the time. And I'm like, what's the point of playing like this to Sakala and Morelos and that? Like, I thought Sakala obviously get the assist for Ryan Kent, and then obviously get the penalty as well. And I thought he done really well. But Tillman, a guy coming into his second Old Firm game now, It's maybe a bit 50-50 this game. I thought he's got a lot to learn in terms of these big fixtures, but there was a lot to love for the performance as well. Like just the way he can sort of make things happen out of nothing. He's in the box. He's maybe done too much at that time where he got by about 3 or 4 of them and then
Aye, that's
kept
what I
trying to
was
beat
saying.
them. Yeah, he had a couple of opportunities, of course, as I said, the one with Carter Vickers in the block, but um, I was happy for the majority of Tillman's performance. I think he can maybe just be a
Just
bit
more,
more, what's the word, like urgent at
aye.
times, maybe a
I
bit
would
to
say
do
the word I
things,
would
but
use maybe is a bit more maybe committed in terms of just
mm,
trying to run back. Do you know what I mean? Like don't go for it, just go for it. Do you know what I mean? That's what Sakala was saying. He kept going, just kept going. Tillman, as you say, mate, he did some really nice stuff, taking on 2, 3, 4 of them. I thought he did really well. I think for him, it's just going to be confidence getting in these games. Do you know what I mean? These are his
mhm.
first two sort of experiencing it. So I think it's just be a bit more about with confidence with him, experiencing these games. Because as you say, mate, quality player. He's got to be
Aye.
signed. The business, if he's not signed permanent this month, mate,
Because
I
that's
think
a guy you could really hand pick and you could put him into Celtic's team. I think, like obviously Celtic have got a really good squad at the moment. I think Tillman's one of the guys you can put for the Rangers team in there, and I think he's a quality player that
I think there's only, I think there's really only really one. I think that for our squad that you would maybe go into their squad, and I'd say that's Goldson. I don't think that Starfelt's any quality at all. I think
he's got a mistake in him, and obviously with the
he's
penalty,
second,
maybe
mate.
a bit harsh on him actually because I was obviously appealing for the penalty at the time in the
That's a
game,
pen.
but
That's a pen.
aye, maybe a bit of a softer variety. But he's always got that kind of mistake in him. It's always sort of him in the Celtic backline that makes the mistakes. So
That's
aye,
he. Honestly, I was nervous. I thought maybe Davies would have had that kind of game, but thankfully he didn't. Honestly, as I say, they two at the back seem to be growing a good partnership. I don't see Suter. I don't see MD coming back
nah.
into that. I can't see MD. I think they two are the mainstay at the back line. But obviously going forward, my man Kent, what a goal! Absolutely what a goal! Sensational goal for Ryan Kent.
Then he's our best player by a mile. Like
Oh, country mile. Turns up it. As I say, these are the games we're expecting Ryan Kent to turn up. We've seen the quality previously in these games, and as I say, that goal, sensational.
just need like you look at the wage list that came out. Obviously, don't know if that's accurate or not, but he has to be the top earner at the club. Connor
Definitely.
Goldson obviously is with that contract that he signed in the summer, but if we want to keep Ryan Kent, we'll need to do the exact same as
Match the
Goldson. We need
money.
to really build the team around him.
Well,
Build the team
show
around
him the
him,
money. Jerry Maguire, it show him the money.
he took his goal really well, and I thought he was threatening every time he get the ball. Maybe in the first half again, as you say, never too
Yeah,
too
but
effective,
one or
but he
two.
was all
I think
right.
in the first half. The shot. No, it's just came back into my mind. The shot he had. You've just got to smash that.
Mm-hmm.
You've just got to smash. He just slightly hits. I don't know if he falls and he hits it, but to me, you've just got to bury that top corner.
Nah, he should
I've
have
seen
just
him burying the
rattled
top
it.
corner like that before. It's got to be.
Um, he was unlucky with that one. I remember one actually for one of the Old Firm games. I think it was the Hollander 1-0 one where he had the exact same
I'd say
shot
so.
and it hit off the post. So he was unlucky with that one, but as you say, cracking goal to get his level, and I was actually buzzing to see him score a goal because it's not often you see it
No.
happen. So Kent for me, and I've said
See,
it for a couple of weeks. I think he's our best player.
this player, I know, just honestly, different player under Michael Beale. You can see the confidence, you can see the happiness in his game. And I like that he just lets him roam. Go, run around
Hmm.
wherever you want to go, as long as you affect the game. Definitely, as I say, he's got to sign the contract. He's got to be the one that we give him the money.
And
Throw him,
then
just
the
whatever he
one you
wants.
don't give the money, I'm afraid, is Alfredo Morelos. He's
Nah,
finished
exactly.
at Rangers, I believe. Just in the first half, anyway, it looked like he was more interested in starting fights and stuff again rather than actually playing as a
Playing the game.
striker. I thought he had a couple of moments where he looked all right, but I think on a whole, I just think we should
That's where he
be
put Hart under
investing
pressure.
as well. Hmm.
That's what I'm
Aye, for
saying.
that one he done all right, but
But for that one, he did all right. But as you say, mate, just looking to start stuff and what have you. And I'm thinking to myself, come on, Morelos, enough of this now. Let's play the game here. We want
and
to win the game.
fail to admit he had two headers as well that he should have probably put by
Should have buried
loads
that
of.
one. When was that? Was it the second one or and you won
Well,
it?
I can remember they were just right after each other, weren't they? Like, um, Aye, the second one just before half time, he should have scored, but
I,
and then he had the other one that went over the bar. But aye, a couple of big chances, and you need your strikers to be putting them in. And in this fixture, it's always kind of been the same for Morelos, missed chance after missed chance. But I think it's time, to be honest. We look elsewhere for a proper striker. Obviously, we've got Roof and Cholak there. Roof, no idea how long he's going to stay fit for. Cholak, Morelos, you would ideally like to move on this window and get a bit of a fee for him, and then use that money to bring somebody else in. But looking at then the stats of the game, you just say Celtic just limited them to very little when you look at it. 2 shots on target, 2 goals, but they had the majority of the possession of the game. Nearly double the passes as well. And we had 15 shots, 5 in target. Probably we should have took more in. It's gutting that we didn't actually see the game out in the end, but it was a good game of football. Two teams going at it, and then you take positivity and you take positives for the game, that you can see where this Michael Beale team's heading. Even with a team that, as they say, I might not even rate half these players. I'm just playing with what I've got.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't rate half of them. I hope, honestly, I love the honesty. It's refreshing compared to what we had before with Gio, which was just but yes, man. To have the refreshment of Michael Beale going, do you know what it is? I might probably not even rate half these guys. I like that. I like to hear that he's already thinking, because I could see, as you say, when the camera would look at him, he still wasn't happy with the performance at all. That's the last couple of games now I've noticed where obviously we've got the result, but the performance isn't there now. So it's going to take time for Beale to fully get his implementations and what have you, like to get it fully out there. But just for me, mate, it's one of them where what could have been, mate. We could have, if we'd just seen it out, we'd get the 3 points. I think we were unlucky with, but at the end of the day, it's a draw, and it's probably just one of those seasons where play the rest of the games, still in the 2 cup competitions, get the cup game in 2 weeks' time, so still a chance to win silverware, still a chance to get Michael Beale his first sort of silverware as a first team coach. So looking at that, but I'm just looking at the window now. Obviously, we know next week's episode that we've got lined up. Rating who we think should stay and should go. I'm looking forward to that. I wish we could do that episode right now, Jack. Because I've already got several in my head that I want out and that I would keep, that I think are going to be fantastic under Michael Beale. But I go back to it again. If Ryan Kent hasn't got a new contract and we let him go, I think that's just disgusting business.
Definitely, I agree. Ross Wilson's got a big January to go and take care of.
Sorry, mate, but I could see a world where Kent leaves for free and we give Morelos the new deal.
We're going to need to get players off the wage bill first, anyway.
Yeah, we all adore Morelos, but I just feel like it's time. I feel like it's time. When you were there, I'm like, no. And then just what I've seen, whatever, I'm thinking to myself, no, you're probably right. It probably is time to.
I forgot. We even forgot to mention the subs towards the end of that game there.
We did.
That was a big talking point. Obviously, Ryan Jack for Lundstram was fine, like for like, and he slotted in fine. But then
he threw it away with the other two.
He threw it away with the other two because he thought the game was in the bag, and he tried to just shut up shop. And then Sands finds himself further forward. Right, I don't know what the thought process was behind that. Well, Sands is obviously in the midfield, but he's pushing up further when we were up the park and dilly-dallies in the ball, and I could still hear my dad shouting about it now, because although he's a player in the position similar to Glenn Kamara that you would expect that he's never going to shoot, I think the lad should have at least hit a shot anywhere. Even if you're not comfortable with it, it could bounce anywhere. It's the last 9 minutes of the game, and obviously that's not his game. But
that's what I'm saying. He threw 2 weak-minded mentally players on that part there. That he panicked as soon as he got that ball and he heard everyone shout, "Shoot!" He went, "Oh, I don't know what to do," and he froze.
That's exactly what it was.
He froze. Obviously, he should have a dig. You know what I mean?
And then your other one, Scott Wright. See, when I seen him,
why is he anywhere near the team?
See, when I seen him take his shot, I'm like, "Are you kidding me on?" Like, I've seen Roof warm up here. I've seen Cholak warm up. Scott Arfield that can come on and affect this game. Scott Arfield 100% was the right substitution to make. When you're taking Tillman off, Arfield will do the dirty work at the back, but he can also get you going forward. And I have no problem with Arfield coming on as a substitution. That's how he affects games. But I just feel like Michael Beale get it totally wrong with the subs.
He's got a lot to learn as well from that game as well, Michael Beale, in terms of the substitutions and tactically, what have you. But as you say with Arfield, look at it, just threw Arfield on. Arfield found himself at the right place at the right time at Aberdeen, and we get the goals and we fluke to win. So, I mean, did not see Arfield couldn't come on and affect the game.
They just tried to shut up shop too early, and as you say, it's a learning process for him. Well. Hopefully, he learns for bigger games coming up, especially that semi-final game against Aberdeen, and then the Old Firm games have got to come after. So, it's his first experience. You can't really fault him for anything we done apart from maybe just being too defensive, not going on to Celtic more than we did, and then obviously not seeing the game out. And you take positives for it, but then you move on. Not in a pure bad mood to Dundee United, which is good.
No, definitely we're not in a bad mood. But that's what I was saying as well. Imagine if we'd won this game, more likely to draw points at Dundee.
Aye.
You know what I mean? Just because I've seen that as well. But I just feel Bill's still learning in terms of obviously making subs and whatever. But I just thought he caused us every day too coming on. I just personally thought I'd have put Scott Arfield on and I'd have brought Cholak on. But you could maybe argue what's Cholak going to hang me, but he'll be an aerial. Do you know what I mean? He'll be in the box.
Nah, I'm not.
That's
why I don't see the point of putting them on the bench if they're not fit. Then But as what it is. Next week, as you say, either a tier list kind of video will be all the players in the current squad, in, out, loan, get to fuck tiers probably, and then obviously we'll need give our who we want to see come into the club. We done one in the summer, obviously, where we picked a lot of players out that we thought, look, these could end up decent for us. One of them I actually got right in Rabbi Matondo, and why did I put that in? But
he's in the get to fuck list.
He's now in the get to fuck list. It's brilliant how things change. But over the coming weeks, probably going to be a lot of transfer talk because, as Beale said, he's wanting 2 or 3, and he wants them to be starters. He wants them to come into the team. Just like Celtic yesterday, given a debut to the right back they just signed in an Old Firm game. I could never see us doing that. It always has to be play 10-15 minutes here, like 7 games before you even start. Like, fuck off with that. You just get flung in at the deep end, and he performed all right. So
sink or swim. So you find out about these players. But no, I look forward to doing these episodes, and hopefully the viewers will stick with us, enjoy these episodes. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below, and obviously like and subscribe and all that jazz Jack usually says.
I did the good stuff for us, and then I will be back, as I say, over the coming weeks with some transfer videos about the January transfer window. So until then, we'll see you later.